In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern. We do have many different interesting storms going on around the nation, both rainstorms, severe weather, and even tropics that are waking up over the next couple of weeks, as we have a very historically warm Atlantic Ocean right now, so very unheard of things are expected to happen. We will, of course, go over the temperatures, the total precipitation, among other things. Before we dive into things, we did just upload our second vlog, and this was the most exciting one yet. So many of you tuned into that video and enjoyed it. I really appreciate it. In the top right corner of your screen, you can click that to find that vlog, or it is in the description and pinned comment down below. I never in a million years expected so many of you would enjoy to just watch normal, everyday videos of me instead of just weather videos, but so many of you have, and it has made a few people happy for sure. I encourage you to check that out, and it would definitely mean a lot to me, you showing your support on that channel as well. So I highly encourage you to check that out. Again, top right corner of your screen, description, or pinned comment to find that very exciting video. It was so much fun going out on the jet skis, and we got awesome footage out there on the water. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And there is a couple of thunderstorms in there as well that we caught on camera. Sneak peek into vlog 3, because I'm filming it right now. We did have massive storms in the Outer Banks last night, some of the most frequent lightning I've ever seen, and I got it on video, so that's going to be in vlog number 3. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm so excited about it, as you guys can tell, but I need to shut up about it and start talking about the weather. So let's dive into things. Let's take a look at tomorrow from the time I am making this video, which will be Saturday, June 8th, as you can see. We do have some thunderstorms going on for a lot of the northern half of the nation. We can see from the Rockies into some of the northern plains, the Midwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley, and then even the Northeast here. We do have different areas of thunderstorms and showers ongoing for these areas. A little bit quieter tomorrow for the southern half of the nation, and don't get me wrong, there is thunderstorms around, especially in the kind of the southwest, south central little portion here of New Mexico and Texas, as well as a bit of Florida. But outside of there, and I mean, compared to the northern components here, we definitely have a lot less activity there in the south for tomorrow on Saturday. But as we jump towards Sunday on June 9th, we can see that a lot of it is for the middle of the nation here, and really a majority of the nation, as we see the northwest down through the Rocky Mountain Range into the central and southern plains, through some of the deeper south, and then back up the mid-Atlantic and northeast. We do have thunderstorms and showers around, even back through the Great Lakes here, as you can see as well. I know there's a bunch of random shapes on the screen here, but just want to show you all these areas that we're watching. And even by Sunday, June 9th here, we can see a lot of activity picking up here for some of the southern Caribbean and the Bahamas as well. We're seeing this tropical atmosphere really just flow into these areas and really allow for the building of thunderstorms, which is really the foundation for tropical activity. So we are beginning to see these waves get started out here in an unprecedented timing, really, for this amount of activity and just the pure intensity of it. I have never seen anything like it, and certainly not looking like June. It's looking a lot closer to what we would expect in August or September timeframe. Maybe September's a little bit of a stretch, but late July, early August timeframe is more of what this reminds me of, which is certainly not what we're in yet. So months ahead of schedule with the activity that we're seeing. Monday on the 10th here, we do expect our first kind of low pressure system induced severe weather potential to occur. Wyoming, we see a cold front underneath, a little bit of a warm front up above, and overall, I mean, surging warm air across the plains here out ahead of things. So this is really the trend here. And then some sinking cold air a little bit behind it. Of course, these features are a little bit less intense for the summertime than usually in the spring. So that's why it's a little less dramatic here. But expect some potential thunderstorms here due to this low around the middle portion of the nation, up and down from Texas all the way up through Canada. You can expect some potential thunderstorms as a result of that system. For Tuesday here on the 11th, we do again get this kind of low across the middle portion of the nation. It's actually near south central Canada, but a stretching cold front underneath, bringing some impacts for Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and surrounding states there, with some potential severe weather for these areas that we're going to be watching. We do begin to again see this kind of tropical weather that we're going to need to be really watching. Both west and east of Florida, we're seeing a lot of these thunderstorms, and even up and down the kind of the mid-Atlantic coast there, we're seeing some of this. So again, all eyes will be on the tropics basically for the next couple of weeks at least. And obviously we're only going to get closer and closer to the heart of hurricane season, so already showing signs of an awakening beast, if you will, here out in the Gulf of Mexico and southeast coast. So definitely this is just a concerning look. I mentioned this in yesterday's video, but just the day after day after day of seeing these is really going to lead towards enhanced potential, only because, you know, if you see one day of tropical activity out there, it's not going to give it enough time for that potential to really develop. But if it's going to be sitting there for 7, 8, 9 days, you have to imagine that that's going to increase the chance drastically that we do end up seeing a depression, tropical storm, or God forbid, a hurricane, which would be very early for this time of year to see a hurricane, by the way. Tropical depressions, tropical storms do happen in June, but hurricanes are a lot more rare, as we typically expect to see weaker tropical systems this time of year. And as you know, tropical storms and even depressions can be very, very impactful, so all of these things are not what we would want at all. But the potential is just increasing with every single day that we see this moisture sitting tight, and by Thursday it's still there, again, just sitting right over these ripe waters. We uploaded a video, I think 2 or 3 days ago. You can go check it out. It's the one where we talked about this tropical potential here. We showed the sea surface temperatures, and they're very hot. I mean, extremely hot, especially west of Florida, but we're seeing temperatures that are far above average and almost historic for some of these areas. So it is certainly warm enough waters for these types of things to occur. Here's Friday, and again, just sitting there with the tropical activity. Saturday, sitting tight still, so it's been almost a week that it's just been sitting there. We do see, again, north central states seeing a lot of this thunderstorm activity, and even the northeast and mid-Atlantic getting some activity in here as well. Let's just take it towards Sunday the 16th here, and this is right around when we see a lot of this tropical activity kind of move towards the kind of, I would say, Gulf states mostly, the Gulf into the southeast. We're seeing a lot of these types of thunderstorms prevailing. Let's keep going towards Monday the 17th, and still we see this column of thunderstorms due to this low combined with this tropical moisture. We're overall seeing a lot of activity across these portions of the nation. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the total precipitation, and this really shows the full story. Look at all this moisture across these areas, especially in the Gulf here, again, west of Florida. Really watching this closely, and then even off the southeast, we're seeing a lot out there as well. So there is tons and tons of moisture to work with, and lots of precipitation will be falling as a result of that. We do see across the plains and Midwest, again, above average amounts, and same story with the Northeast here. A little drier for the Ohio Valley into the Mid-Atlantic, though, I must say. Even despite no real development of a tropical system, a true tropical system on this model run, we do see in the browns 5 to 10 inches of precipitation perhaps here, and even some blues popping up near the Florida Panhandle where it's 10 to 15 inches. So very, very alarming amounts of precipitation from this tropical activity, despite no true tropical systems forming on this particular model run. That brings us to the next model run here, where we will see a kind of development similar to that previous model that we saw with this precipitation sitting both on the west and east sides of Florida there. This tropical activity just really wanted to sit tight. We do see this model around hours 1:54 wants to bring some of it off the southeast coast, and that eventually moves out. Could develop there, but this one does not have it landfalling at all, but it brings it out maybe closer to Bermuda there as a pretty strong system, it appears, so that could be something to watch. But right around hours 2:40, when our previous model run ended, we see this kind of second area of tropical disturbance moving back towards western Florida again. And then watch this. It tracks right over kind of the southeast coast there and develops into a very strong system. We're seeing some very bright colors in there. This is a long-range European AI model, so it is going to be a little bit suppressed with the intensities here, but we do see a low forming. We do see heavy precipitation rates in there, and likely this would be tropical activity moving up here. I will say as well, if you were to look into the climatology of month-by-month hurricane season stats, during the month of June, we get a lot of these systems moving either inland like this, or, you know, sometimes near the southeast coast, but they oftentimes form in this area here, and then they do kind of move up towards the east coast. So this is a very realistic and plausible track for this time of year, and does add some confidence into it. The things working against it at this point would be that it's beyond hours 240, which is certainly something to take into consideration beyond 10 days out. Definitely interesting, though, and something we're going to keep an eye on for the coming weeks. Now, the temperature pattern, we do see this cooler air moving into the east. I wouldn't say that it's going to be cold by any means. We do have warm out west, which is really aiding in this. So we see the warm here, the cold moves around it and dives into the east. We see this all the time, and I talk about it way more than I should. As we keep going, though, we do eventually see a warming trend here, especially as we move beyond the halfway mark of the month here, the 15th. We see this heat really ramp up in the east, and as of now, this model keeps it around until the end of it, this model run that is, hours 360 on June 22nd. So above average temperatures here prevailing in the east, at least for now, as we're looking towards late June. So something to watch for and look forward to if you're looking forward to some heat. For the Storm Prediction Center outlooks in the lighter greens here for day one, which is for the rest of today on Friday, June 7th, those lighter green areas will be your general thunderstorm risk. And that's where we expect general thunderstorms, but I want you guys to be reminded that that doesn't mean that there won't be severe weather. They do get this wrong sometimes. So definitely still heed every watch, warning, and advisory. For the two darker green areas there, one for the Rockies, one for the Plains, that is where we have a level 1 marginal risk, and that's where we expect some isolated severe weather to be possible. And then in the yellow there for the Plains, that's your level 2 slight risk, where we expect scattered about severe weather. And then your orange area, level 3 enhanced risk, that is going to be your area that we're watching for some widespread severe weather to be possible, again, through the night tonight until 6 a.m. Now, for day 2, which will be tomorrow, 6 a.m. and beyond, until 6 a.m. on Sunday, so Saturday, June 8th, we do have a whopping 5 general thunderstorm risk areas in the lighter greens, where, again, we expect general thunderstorms, and we do have one more marginal risk area, level 1, across the middle of the nation. Finally, for day 3, which will be for Sunday, June 9th, we have 3 general thunderstorm risk areas once again, and now 2 marginal risk areas there. One for kind of the southern four corner states, or the eastern four corner states, I should say, into some of Texas and Oklahoma, and then one up there for the Rockies near Nevada, Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We do upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.